Is your business struggling? Trying to get your followers up? No problem. You can advertise with us right now. Tap that link above. Now let's get back to the show.
This is iLLANOiZE Radio with Biko, iLLANOiZE Jones, and Pretty Riot. Going down right now.
You're tuned in to iLLANOiZE Radio, Chicago's most valuable radio show. I'm your host, Biko, alongside special guest, Groove New.
Yeah, Groove New get a building.
iLLANOiZE Jones. And as always, man, we bring you all the illest guests from around the city and globe. And you just heard a dope song off this project. Yeah. It was fun while it lasted. It was called Wait On Me featuring Flood. And we got Kayo in the building.
Yes, sir. It's good to be back with y'all. Love.
Hey, it's good to have you back, my brother.
Of course.
The
ill style.
Man.
Crazy.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Stupid.
I mean, shit. For you doing the ill style, how was it for you and the response? Did you get the response you wanted?
I did, bro. You know what's crazy? I'm gonna give y'all flowers, bro. Y'all probably don't know this. For years, I wanted to do that shit. Like, for years, I was asking Asar and shit, like, bro, how do you get up there? He was like, bro, just hit Biko. I'm like, I don't know that nigga. Like, what you mean, just hit Biko? And, yeah, so, I just kind of let it go. Like, it's probably never going to happen for me and shit. So, once I dropped the album and it started going crazy, I was like, I probably got a little bit of a leg to stand on now, so let me reintroduce myself. You know what I'm saying? So, y'all was like, yeah, come up here. So, that shit was really, like, y'all giving me my flowers, but I want to give y'all flowers and say that shit meant the world, bro. Like,
appreciate
you know what I'm saying? Niggas been trying to do that shit forever. So
Was you nervous? You were nervous or nothing?
hell yeah, I was not rapping in this shit. Hell yeah, I'm fucking nervous. I'm not if I wasn't as good at rapping as I am, I wouldn't be a rapper, if that makes sense. Like, I don't like myself. I don't like the cameras. I don't like the mic. I don't like none of that shit. I know that this is my God-given purpose because he wouldn't have made it this easy for me.
So you don't like the attention that
I don't
comes
like
with the
none of that
music,
shit, bro.
but
If you could tell me right now, look, we will give you $20 million. You know what I'm saying? You can live out the rest of your life. Just write an album for Jay-Z and you never got to do nothing else again. I'm writing that album and you never going to see my face ever again.
I think that's all of us. I don't even know how to write an album. I would write an album whole for $22 million.
I would be gone. Like,
but with that, you having that, what made you want to, like, let me do it? Like, let me rap. You don't like microphones. You don't like the attention. You don't like the spotlight. But what made you just step foot and just be like, fuck it, I'm going to do it?
man, niggas ain't had no other options for it. Like, we was just talking off air about me dropping out and shit. Like, it was fun once I was like 16. It was fun while it lasted, no pun intended. It was fun when I dropped out. But once I hit like 18, 19, I was like, damn, niggas, like, I gotta find a career and fast. So I just, you know what I'm saying? I was like, this is probably, to me, it's easy. Like, to me, dropping albums, making albums, doing the marketing, doing the budgeting and all that shit is easy. And every time I do something new, I go up one more notch. So eventually this time next year when I'm back up here, we're going to be talking about Grammys and tours and shit. So, you know, I just figured this was the easiest route and the most passionate route for me.
So since we talking about it and you already got there and went there with the dropping out situation,
Yeah.
like, so like found that music in high school as an artist, like that's where it all began, that in high school for you?
I started making music in like 3rd or 4th grade, but it didn't get serious until high school. So when I was in 3rd grade, maybe 4th grade, I had a teacher, Brother Kareem, and he gave us this assignment. So I'm a Muslim, obviously, like as most people know, and there's this holiday we have called Savior's Day, which is basically the birth of Master Fard Muhammad. So we basically had to do something in accordance with Savior's Day. So it was, you could either write a rap, a poem, do like a movie, like a documentary, or do an essay. And my dumb ass, I wasn't writing no essay, I wasn't doing no documentaries. I'm like, I'm finna just write this quick ass rap or whatever. And I wrote it, and he was like, that shit is, and he was a rapper, I should probably mention that. He was a rapper, like he came up with, y'all wouldn't even know these, I ain't even finna put their names out there.
No, mention it. We want to see.
He came up with like Chris, Sick One, Twan Gabs, rest in peace. He actually just passed away a couple weeks ago. Yeah, he came up. Oh, so you probably do know this. Yeah, he came up with them. Twan, and they all came up with like No ID, all of them, like in Chicago and shit at the mosque. So he was like, you actually got something. Like, you actually can really do this shit. So I started taking it serious, but I was taking it serious. For some reason, my dumb ass, I thought that if you rapped well, that meant that you would get signed. So I was just I would just write raps in my notes and, you know what I'm saying, in my journals and shit. And I just had 100 raps. And I was saying, there's a story. I called Rock the Mic Studios, which is where Jay-Z recorded Blueprint. And I was a researcher. I did my research. So I knew where, you know what I'm saying, where niggas was, where
This is back
motherfuckers
when they had
was.
albums, y'all.
Yeah, like you could look at the
album,
you could
look
look
at all the information.
Yeah,
They just
so,
say thank yous on the app, man.
yeah. So I called where he recorded Blueprint 3. And I was like, yo, like, I want to talk to Jay-Z. Dumbass. Like, what the fuck? Like,
That's
nigga, that shit is
ambitious.
not
Look.
And the dude was like the receptionist, he was like, nigga, I don't got no fucking contact to Jay-Z. Like, are you stupid, nigga? And I was like, probably like 12, bro. But I thought that if I rapped well and I showed somebody that I rap with, they would give me the deal.
So you was 12.
I was young as hell.
Hold on. Did you go through Yellow Pages to find this number? What,
Nah, you had so literally it was so when I'm a little bit younger than y'all. So when I was 12, it was like 2011.
Damn.
Yeah. So phones, I didn't have an iPhone at that
Okay,
time and
gotcha,
shit.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
so
Yeah, you was doing your research on your phone.
So I can't remember how I found it, but I know I want to say J.Cole actually. In fact, it was J.Cole. So have you ever heard the story of J.Cole standing outside
the studio? Yeah.
So I was watching that interview the day it dropped. I was the biggest J.Cole fan. We'll talk about that another. I was the biggest J.Cole fan. Biggest. And I was watching all of his interviews and shit, and there was one where he said that he was standing outside the studio, and he mentioned Rock the Mic Studios. So I looked it up, like Rock the Mic Studios, and I found the info. Boom, called the ass. Nigga was like, "It's a dumbass." off. Like, are you stupid, nigga?
That's
like,
ambitious, yo.
It was worth the try.
Yeah, it would, because you never know what if a person
yeah,
answered the phone that
he was.
did
You
know.
feel me? Like, he was right. You know what I'm saying?
What if
he
Beans
was
answered the phone?
Exactly.
What
You
if
feel me?
Guru
Yeah.
answered the phone? Yeah, I get on the popping.
bro. So
Never
I'm like,
know.
man. So
I want to ask you too. You know, with you going to a Muslim school, do you feel like if your teacher wasn't also involved in music, do you feel like it probably would have been a different standpoint?
I think eventually I would have found music. It probably would have took a little bit longer. So another person, so the date is, I don't know the exact date. Whenever the day before J.Cole dropped Cold World Sideline Story, the album, there was a person, Minister Abdul, and he came to, I was walking in the hallways of my school, and he said, "You know what day it is?" And I'm like, whatever day it was, let's just say Tuesday. And I'm like, yeah, Tuesday, nigga, like what? And he was like, J.Cole dropping Cold World Sideline Story tomorrow. And I was like, oh shit. And for some reason, telling the story now, like, it seems like, well, I did not know that. But for whatever reason, even though I was a big J.Cole fan, somehow, some way, like, I guess social media wasn't as popping. I did not know that. So it turned to a regular Tuesday or whatever day it was to a fucking holiday immediately. And I was like, so I stayed up all night waiting for this shit to drop, bro. And it dropped, and I didn't even listen. Like, it wasn't no app. It probably existed, like Apple Music Tidal and all that, but I know I didn't listen on it. I had to go through, like, one of those sites, you know, like them rip-off sites.
Yeah,
type
we had
shit.
like bear share and shit back then.
Probably, yeah, like one of,
Yeah,
one of
some
those,
bogus
yeah.
shit.
And I was living in Crete at the time, and I went out like 2 a.m, rode my bike. I pressed play on that
Oh,
shit.
what? At 2 a.m, you
2
just
in
left the
morning,
crib
bro.
and
2
rode
in the
your
morning,
bike?
left the crib. Nah, that shit is Crete. Like, you good. Like, you're
Yeah,
more
I
than
used to
fine
record
over
out in
there.
Crete, yeah.
Yeah, you're more than fine over there. So, I left out. I rode my bike. I was listening to the album, bro. And I remember, it's crazy. One day I got to tell J.Cole this story, bro.
He listening. He listening.
You feel? I remember the scenery, like everything that was going on, bro. And I was listening, and right once Rise and Shine come on, the song that has the Jay-Z intro, I said, this, like, I gotta be this nigga, like, no question.
For sure.
So, but that was high school. Like, at that point, I'm in, like, if I'm not high school, I'm close to high school. So eventually I would have came to music, but it just would have took a little bit longer. But yeah, once I heard that kind of reignited my love for this shit.
That was the fuel and spark you
for
needed.
sure.
Yo, what's up? It's your girl, Pretty Right, and I need you to do one sminy. Yo, what's up? It's your girl, Pretty Riot, and I just need you to do one small favor for me. Head on over to your app store, search iLLANOiZE. Hit the first thing that pops up because we the one and only, and download the iLLANOiZE app.
We were talking a little bit about, you being in high school, partaking in music, calling
NBC,
studio,
Rock the Mic Studio.
You feel me? Jay becoming a fan of Jay, which I am as well.
Yeah.
And I wanted to like chime in, like even before school. How was it like growing up in a household for you? Like, are you the only child? Like, how did music even become a thing for you?
I am not the only child. I have a baby sister, baby girl. Then I have an older brother. Y'all know my older brother, Elijah LaFleur.
Oh, that's your
That's
your
my brother.
Yeah. I thought he was just a cool friend.
That's my blood brother. Yeah.
Oh.
For sure.
So music and it's weird because I honestly don't know. Like, in retrospect, I guess music was always in the household, but when I was starting music, it felt like I was the only nigga doing it. But my grandparents, they tell me stories and shit of apparently my whole family did music and shit, but I didn't know that. But what I do know is my mom. My dad was playing, like he's from Southern Illinois, like Alton and Godfrey and shit, right next to St. Louis. So he listened to like rock and like country and like, you know what I'm saying, like white people music and shit, all due respect. But my mom, she was an NWA, Common, Kanye West. Like my first time hearing rap was from my mom. She was playing some her favorite song. She had a few favorite songs, but a song that she used to play all the time when I was a kid was Encore, Jay-Z and Kanye, like produced by Ye. She used to play Dirt Off Your Shoulder all the time. She used to play
Mom turned. Mom lit.
Nah, she's the biggest Jay-Z fan. Big. Her three is Jay-Z, Eminem, and she likes Kanye West, but he's not her like top three rapper. She just likes him as a human being type shit. But yeah, so that was my first introduction to music and shit. Growing up, like I was like, yeah, to me, like I said, I didn't really see nobody else doing music, so I thought I was damn near like a black sheep or something. You know what I'm saying? I thought I was gonna carve out a lane and nobody else in the family did and shit.
Your older brother too.
Yeah, right. Nah, literally, yeah.
And hearing you speak on how musically inclined your family is, it got me thinking about your track "Grandma Boy."
Yeah,
Grandma's Boy.
That record is cold. How it also ended with her doing
a poem. Yep.
Does she have anything like published?
Bro, I found out that she did poetry like post me doing the music. Like I was working on the album. It was fun while it lasted. And I was telling her that I just went over to the crib one day and I was just telling her like, yeah, I'm working on an album or whatever. And she was joking. She was like, you got to put one of my poems on there. And I'm like, poem? Like, since when the fuck did you do poems? And yeah, like apparently that's what I'm saying. Like, and like hindsight is always 20/20. Like I found out after the fact that damn near every member of my family did music and shit. Like she does poems, my uncle does poems, my mom used to rap and currently does poems and shit, but nobody deemed it necessary to tell me this shit when I was a kid trying to, you know what I'm saying?
They was hiding it from you.
They was like, nobody told me that shit. So yeah, she said she did poetry and shit. I was like, I'll go crazy. Like,
killed it.
Yeah,
come to the stool, Granny.
Yeah, pull up. Like, what you mean?
I got a song for
Yeah.
you.
Killed
Do you
it.
think finding out that your family did music at the time did it make you more comfortable?
Honestly, so the honest to God, my answer should be yes. But what made me comfortable doing music, honestly, like I couldn't give a fuck less what they was doing. What made me comfortable is I did a performance once at a place. I ain't gonna say where the place was, but at a place, and the Minister Farrakhan came up on somehow, some way. He's like a fucking ghost or some shit. Like he'll just pop up somewhere, somehow, some way. And he popped up on stage and told me and my guys to our face, he was like, continue rapping, continue what y'all doing. He was like, essentially in so many words, it was a lot of words, but in so many words, this is God's gift to y'all and y'all need to make the most of it. And I was like,
What the fuck?
What?
Nigga, I
You
was
got
passed the fuck out.
Yo,
I'm at the crib right now. I don't want to hear nothing. Leave me alone.
I don't want to hear nothing from
Nobody.
I'm right.
So that's what gave me my. I was like, oh, can't nobody tell me.
You gotta pass all passes.
Feel me? Like I'm good. I'm good.
Like how like growing up in the nation and going to school.
Yeah.
Like in that whole like I never even knew that was a thing.
Yeah.
Like how was that growing up, just being that everyday part of your life and making rap music?
Yeah. It's so funny that you say that part, because that's the part, that last part of the question, making rap music, it was tough, because everything that's branding is damn near against the rules of the Nation of Islam. And I was like, I ain't gonna lie, to this day, I be in and out of meetings, bro, because I just do shit so wrong, dog. Like, so off of the books of what you supposed to do. Like, for y'all just now seeing me without my beard for the first time ever. You're not supposed to have a beard in the nation. I done had this shit 7 years straight, no question. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot of things that you're not supposed to do that are just a part of the religion that I myself, like, just with brand, you know what I'm saying? You look crazy without a beard, without your earrings. Like, you look crazy. So it was always, like, I ain't gonna say hard, but it was like I was almost battling the Satan within myself to kind of find a way to do music and to get famous and to get notoriety on a large scale in the world. But then you kind of are faced with the realization that the world that you're trying to get notoriety in, it doesn't mesh well with the world that you exist in at all. In fact, the world that you exist in is attacking the world that you're trying to get notoriety in. So it was definitely complicated, but I think in 2023, like this year, I found a very comfortable balance between the two. And I just made up my mind, like, I'm gonna just do what I know I'm supposed to do and what I know that God wants me to do. And if a nigga got something to say about it, they can call me. But ain't nobody gonna, you know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody gonna call
Nobody
me.
with
Like,
them hands.
Yeah, you know what
You don't
I'm
want
saying?
these
Like, ain't
hands.
nobody gonna do that. So
Gonna give them that real shot.
And plus the minister
Man,
already told you to go
you feel
crazy.
me?
You feel me?
That
Yup.
right there, I be like, bro, tell that shit to him, gang. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm good. I'm good.
We got some vibes loaded up from your latest album, and I want to say debut, but I learned that it's not a debut.
Technically not.
You know what I'm saying? Which we gonna
technically
talk about after
sure.
the break. So it was fun while it lasted. Definitely, man, bruh. Cold.
Love.
You linked up with Morgan Gold,
I did.
and y'all put together a joint called Make It Real.
Yes,
Break
sir.
down Make It Real before we get into things.
Make It Real. Honestly, it was just me making music. Niggas keep asking me about the story to that song. If I'm being fully honest, that it doesn't really have a story. It was just, I was in the studio, and this dude named Devin, who was also in the studio, and like Ro Marsalis made the beat like on the spot or whatever, and he just had an idea. And he even had words. He actually, I'll give him credit. He the I can't make it, can we something make it real? He actually came up with that. Like, he was the start to that song. And it's this white boy, like, nigga had rhythm and shit. I'm like, this random white boy just in the studio, never met that nigga face to face in my life. And he just happened to be in the studio. I guess he was an art. I don't know who the fuck he was, but he was just in it. Like, it was just God's gift to me. Like, he was just in the studio and shit.
Did he get credit?
Yeah, he's on the song. And he was like, man, you should do this. I can't fake it. Can we make it real? And I was like, that shit hard. So the part that you hear me and Morgan singing, he actually wrote like the first sentence of that. But then from that, I just made the whole song. You know what I'm saying? Wrote the verses, finished the hook, called up Morgan Gold. She did her thing. So, yeah.
Yo, do us a favor and yourself a favor by hitting that subscribe button. Make sure to tap that notification bell as well so you can stay updated. Now let's get to the video.
So you got the album out. You know, it was fun while it lasted.
Yes, sir.
What made you name it that?
Oh, shit.
Because at first when we was talking earlier, and you was like, yeah, I dropped out of high school at 16. I'm like, it's fun while it lasted.
On God. Yeah, that kind of is the synopsis, but to everything in my life. Like, it was just on some I'm in love with album titles that are like sentences. You know what I'm saying? Like full sentences and shit. like the Ye shit. Like I hate being bipolar. It's awesome. Whatever that shit is called. Like I love like a complete sentence as an album title. So one, I was trying to find something that was a complete sentence, but then I was just thinking, and that title came just from listening to the album. I'm like, I want to say something that's kind of reflective of my life and just of what the project is about. And to me, it's basically saying it was fun while it lasted to all of those situations. So dropping out of high school, breakups, different, you know what I'm saying, good, bad, like looking at everything and saying it was fun while it lasted. Not getting depressed over this shit, not getting down over this shit, not getting too excited over the shit. It's like whatever happened, it was fun while it lasted. Live in the moment. And yeah, you know what I'm saying? If you win the lottery and spend all your money in a week, it's like you broke again, but nigga, it was fun while it lasted.
Yeah, we had a ball, you heard me?
Yeah, we had a ball. So yeah, that was kind of the synopsis of that.
So did you have all the songs before you got the title, or did?
Hell no. So I work backwards. I am a CEO first and then an artist. I think of the most marketable thing, the most like brand, all of that before I even come up with as much as a sentence. So I had the title in damn near 2020, at the latest 2021, but it was like pre-pandemic for sure. So maybe even late 2019 now that I think about it actually. But I had the title and I had different variations of the project. I can go on my SoundCloud right now. There's a variation of It Was Fun While It Lasted that is not out, that's not the one that's out. Total different from track 1 through 12, total different album.
Yeah, so that's
and
another album.
Yeah, it's a whole nother album. So I just like the title. So I kept the title for like years, for like 3-4 years or whatever. And I made sure to stay within the concept of the good, the bad, the ugly. It was fun while it lasted. But yeah, no, these songs definitely didn't exist before that title at all.
So this project been in the works for 3 to 4 years or
longer? Yeah, for 3 to 4 years. So during the pandemic, I made a song titled Pennies and Gold that I dropped on like IG and shit. Like it wasn't, you know what I'm saying, like a real drop. It was just like a freestyle or whatever. And it was, to this day, probably the best verse I've ever written. It was that crazy. And from that, I started working on a project and I got the title that first night. It Was Fun While It Lasted. And I had a cover art. Like I had everything. So the project necessarily wasn't in the works for the last few years. It's just the title existed for that long. But if you listen to the one that's on my SoundCloud, it's totally different than the one that's out. Like it's not nowhere near the same.
I want to
project.
That. I gotta go back and check that out.
No, man, it's ass. No, it's on like my private sound. Hell no, you ain't.
Hell no. He like shit.
You can't get that. No,
this shit is only private. I gotta give you the link.
Yeah, that shit is ass, bro. I hate it.
And like you released that project January of this year. To my knowledge, it was delayed.
It was.
Why? Why was it delayed?
So, man, a few reasons. A couple, in retrospect, it should have never been, but God's timing is always the best timing. But I was like, it was more so like financial shit. Like I wanted to have the bread to be able to do the rollout how I wanted to. But I just had a conversation with my brother literally last night with Elijah LaFleur. And I was like, gee, we not even in a place now, which is bad branding to say live on camera and shit, but we not even in a place notoriety wise where our fucking our pre-rollouts and shit matter that much. Like nobody gives a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Drop the music and then what you do after is what really affects the project. You know what I'm saying? So the holdup was like pre-rollout shit. You know what I'm saying? Wanting to have merch ready, wanting to have this ready, the release party, all of that. And actually another person who was which he don't even know this, but Femdot, the day I was about to submit it to streaming, Femdot texted me saying, yo, I heard some shit through the grapevine, whatever, like basically like just music, and was like he wanted to get on a project. And
that would hold it up.
That would hold it up. Boy, I canceled that shit so quick. I said, say less. I literally booked, and the project was done.
Fuck that film.
Nigga, I texted Romar Salas immediately. I said, hey, project not done. I need a da-da-da-da. And still, like, the record that he's on, that was done. It was just me and Paris Price. And we literally, I booked one session, and a session, it was an awful fucking set. Like, we didn't get shit done in it. It was 5 hours, not one song got done. Like, it was just bad. So we came back the next session. I was like, you know what? Throw this nigga on still, bro. So he just extended still and filmed, man, did that shit. So that was the final hold up of why it ended up dropping. It was supposed to drop. After the first hold up, it was going to drop in December.
Okay.
And
What about June? Was
June was on it. I can't remember why it didn't drop in June. June was definitely on the table.
He got some exclusive
Yeah,
knowledge.
how you know that?
He got some exclusive facts.
June was like when I was like during the pandemic. It was June to like June is when it was gonna drop. Oh, when I grow up. That's what it was. Okay.
He was listening.
He's listening. You know what was crazy is that June that you hear is talking about June 2021.
That's
Not
what I
June
want.
2000.
That's
Yeah.
what I wanted to find out.
Yeah,
like,
that
June
shit is.
when?
We were going. So the initial one.
Wow.
Was literally, I'm gonna show you. I know the cameras can't pick up on this shit, but
June
the initial
2021
June
was gonna be the
2020, it was
original
done,
release
and
date.
I was gonna drop that shit.
And it dropped 2 years.
It dropped 2 years
Later.
after the fact. Look, you can see right here. It was fun while it lasted.
Damn.
Kayo, private. You lack composure, clarity, smile, golden, all of that shit.
All
All of that. So that shit was gonna drop June of 2021. And then I wrote When I Grow Up, and I talked about it.
Three albums in there on private mode.
Yeah,
too.
literally. Yeah.
Hey, time. Look, things happen for a reason.
Yes, sir.
If you would have dropped it in June, Film Dot may not be
You
on
feel
still.
Film wouldn't be on that shit. My raps would have been ass. I wouldn't have had the confidence in myself that I have. Like a lot of shit would have went south, bro. One thing that I'm super grateful of, bro, you have to respect divine timing, bro. Cause I remember Cole Bennett did the visual for Like That. It was a song I had called Like That. And he did the visual for cheap too, like for no bread, because I ain't had no bread. I sent him a screenshot of my bank account and said, nigga, this is all I have. And he did it for that. And when we linked up for the video, he was like, dog, this is literally one of like my favorite songs I've ever done a video for. And I remember he ended up doing a cypher not too long after the fact, like a Lyrical Lemonade cypher. And he texted me, he said, yo, I'm going to make you the thumbnail for the cypher. This is your year, basically. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want you to go crazy. And you can go on YouTube right now. I'm the thumbnail for like the very first or the second Lyrical Lemonade cypher. And he literally was putting like the entire motherfucking, like everything behind me. And I'm so grateful. It ended up going terribly south, but I thank God now that it did. Cause I was not ready, bro. And a message for motherfuckers out there thinking it's your moment, or you know what I'm saying, anything like that, you absolutely know when it's your moment, bro. And like when it's time for you to, so that, which was probably like 2018, 2017, I was not ready for that shit. You know what I'm saying? So the answer, you know, so like what you saying, like, yeah, like I'm glad it was supposed to drop in. It was supposed, like things were supposed to move, but I'm glad that it didn't move how I wanted it to move. Cause I would have just fumbled the bag and now I would be, you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't even be up here right now.
You
damn
never
it. I was
know.
just,
You
you
never
feel me?
know. We gonna actually jump into a quick break.
Yo, what's up? It's your girl Pretty Riot, and I'm sitting pretty starting riots right here on iLLANOiZE Radio. And every single week, you come and you watch these great interviews, and you still ain't subscribed. What are you doing? Hit the subscribe button and turn the notification bell on too.
I got a question about your album name. So you got It Was Fun While It Lasted. You know, that's such a meaningful sentence, as you would call it. You know what I'm saying? So do you think the title, along with like the concept of your album, did it bring you any closure into any like situations in your life?
Man, the branding answer, I should give it like a real long answer.
Yeah.
Honestly, hell no. Like I said, I'm usually in like business mode, like CEO mode. So I was just like, the title alone is golden. Like it's gonna go crazy. So to me, it was literally just, this is just gonna be one, like you gonna click on that title. It was fun while it lasted.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so nah, that shit ain't
Sound like it need to be a dope ass
Hell
movie.
yeah.
You feel me?
Like a
Yeah, that's
Project
some
X
shit.
type
Yeah,
movie,
it was
black
fun while
version
that,
though.
That shit hard.
Shit brought me closure.
You feel
Love the title. I think about something like, well, it was fun while it lasted.
You've been saying throughout the throughout the interview about like, you know, it was a marketing thing for you. I know why everything is a marketing thing for you and why you always thinking business. You know, we touched on it that you dropped out of school at 16, but we didn't say why you dropped out of school at 16.
Yeah. So boom. So for all those watching, I'm gonna look at the camera now. So basically, here's the full story. So it is 2015. I am a junior in high school, and I moved to like my parents just up and moved niggas to Florida for whatever reason. My brother, who's on the other side of this camera, he didn't go with us. He was in college, I believe. So me and my sister, we go down here hating this shit, like, bro. And we was in the worst part of Florida you could possibly be, Clearwater, Florida. Like, ain't shit going on. Granted, they do have the #1 beach in America. I will say that. But so yeah, so I go down there, but on a faithful day, like my first couple of days there, I meet this dude. I ain't gonna put his name out there, but this dude, this white boy, and his mom owns like a Inc. 500 marketing company, and I'm like, man, can I get a job there? And I meet her, and she just loves me. She's like, oh, he's so sweet, like, you know what I'm saying, like this and shit, and she just gives me a job, like at this fucking Inc. 500 marketing company. So the bread was crazy. We won't put that out there either. But for my 60-year-olds, it was like fucking more money than I ever seen.
More money than a lot of you.
Than grown niggas in 2023. Yeah, as a child. So I was like, oh, say less. And it was 2005, so pre-inflation, how it is now. So that shit was even.
Balling.
I was out Jordan going crazy. And so I come back. So I'm going to school for like 3-4 months after getting a job, and I was just talking too much. And I said something to somebody about me working there, and it's a famous company. Like if you go to Florida, like they gonna know the company. And I guess they hear it, and to me, they just got jealous out of nowhere. So I get
teacher, nigga, I make more money than you.
You feel? Man, I get called into a meeting shortly thereafter, and they like, yeah, so we want to make sure that you can focus on your grades, so we're gonna have to ask you to leave your part-time job or whatever. And it wasn't even part-time. The shit was like full-time. Like I was just working on different hours basically. So I was coming to school, and it was an interesting ass school. It wasn't school how we traditionally do school. It was, that's another thing I won't put on camera. I'll tell you off air. It was a interesting school, but you went off of check sheets and shit. So it wasn't grades, it wasn't class from 9 to 10, 10 to 11. It was once you completed your check sheet, you was done with school. So the hours was super manageable to do work or whatever. And yeah, they was like, nah, you can't do that shit. You either got to leave here or do this. And I said, okay, bet, I'll leave school. And that was it.
So
That was the end of that.
Even learning that you were 16 making bank, was it a struggle budgeting money at that age? Was you putting up? Was you just going crazy with the money? Because at a young age, I ain't had no job like that. I was working at UPS, and I was spending my money on J's before they came out.
My first major purchase, I bought a Cadillac. But at that, it was brand new. It was like brand new at that time.
At 16, this nigga bought a Cadillac.
I got my no. At this point, I'm 17 now. Okay. So I bought. I got my license at 16, like while I was still in school and shit. And yeah, I hit 17, and I go to the place, and they like, man, you're under 18, like, you know what I'm saying, like we gonna have to da. And I just had the bread, and I had, you know what's crazy? Side note, I had Bitcoin before the shit was jumping like that.
Still
Bitcoin, I don't still to this day. Okay. But at that time, I had hellas.
But Bitcoin was moving at that time.
It was moving, but it was like, I think like it was some thousands. It was
like 3,000, 5,000 around that time.
Nigga. Sold all of that shit. Took it, gave it to, you know what I'm saying? Gave it to them. And I said, you know what I'm saying? Like they was like, you basically, I can't remember what the dilemma was, but I couldn't get like a traditional loan. Like I basically would have had to either buy it outright or put enough up front. So I sold all my Bitcoin and Ethereum, bought that shit.
So you still got the lag?
Hell no, I sold that motherfucker.
Yeah, unfortunately. I just want our listeners to take note on how you were low key a boy genius.
For sure. Yeah,
like you were.
I was outside.
You was calling Jay-Z's recording studios. Yeah. You was calling MSC and Nickelodeon.
Yeah, calling everybody, yo.
And you were making bank, and then doing right with, and then even Bitcoin. People weren't even
Niggas was not outside, bro. It's so crazy because my dad be trying to teach me about cryptocurrencies and shit. And I'm like, nigga, I put you on that shit. Like, I was 16, 15, like just buying. I was buying. I had Ethereum, however you pronounce it. I had Bitcoin. I had it was a couple other ones that was out that time, but I had multiples of them. And that was at that time Ethereum was at like it started at 50 cents. And I went crazy, and then when it went to like $50, I sold up because it was like to like $1,000. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And then, but I kept like a couple, and then it went to the last thing I remember it being at before I sold completely was 7,000, and then I was just out of there. Yeah.
What I will say is you answered my question. Quite frankly, I was like, "Were you good with budgeting money?"
Yeah, I was super good. I'm awful now. I ain't gonna lie to you, but I was good at that time. Yeah.
And I heard you mention like how you taught your father. Well, you spoke on crypto with your father, and I hear you mention like your father throughout the album as well. How is you and your father's relationship?
It's interesting. Like, we got such an interesting dynamic because we don't talk unless it's about money. For some, like we don't have how I talk to my mom. Like, I'll literally walk to my mom's room and like just lay on her bed and we'll just start gossiping about niggas, like family gossiping and shit. With my dad, we don't even look at each other unless it's about a bag. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he'll come up, which is, I was annoyed. As a kid, it was always annoying, but as I'm a grown man now, like, it's almost like that's the dynamic. You know what I'm saying? Like, nigga, like, I ain't got no love for you, little nigga. Like, get your bag up, get your bread up. I'm gonna tell you what I did wrong, what I did right. You follow it or you don't follow it, and you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the extent of our relationship. And I give you a little bit of spiritual guidance on the way. But that literally is the extent of our relationship. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't hit him like, hey, I'm finna grab some coffee. You wanna, like, hell no.
I don't think I mean, my pop say, I have to give me more this week.
Oh, God. You like, I don't even drink coffee. And I know you ain't trying to go out and have no shots with me, so shit.
You know, and also, when we did the ill style, right? I remember I don't know if it was during the ill style or if I just saw it on social media, but your mother texted you about it was fun while it lasted. And knowing she's a huge Jay-Z fan means she know good music.
She know good music.
So, like, knowing that your mother appreciated this album that you put out, I want to know for you, do you feel like you can top what you just put out? You know, knowing it took you some years to put this together.
Yeah.
And the creative level on this album, how you know, feel you coming next?
Here's the thing, bro, and this is no ego involved at all. When you're good at something, when you're great at something, it's topping it is no. What I have to ask myself is, can I top the experiences? You know what I'm saying? Can I go through something that's worth listening to? But the technical aspect, yo, I'm already better than I was when I did that shit. Like, this shit comes like second nature. Like, I wish I could lay out on a table and show you how it looks to write music now. It's so fucking easy, bro. It feels like I'm cheating the system. Like, I wake up at any time of day, 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning, 12 noon if I'm oversleeping, and the first idea I have, it just boom, comes, done. 3 minutes, 4 minutes, done. Whole song done. You know what I'm saying? Go do another one. Melodies, easy. Harmonies, easy. My vocal inflections, I record at the home studio, and I like maybe 3 takes tops. Like, maybe 3 takes top. Like, everything just be on point now. So I think my confidence level, it rose so much from seeing the notoriety or seeing the reception of the album. It just kind of made me real comfortable with myself to really talk my shit. And I think this next joint, bro, or I know this next, it's not even gonna be close. It's not even gonna be close.
What separates? Can you give a little bit about like what separates the two?
I think on this first one, as good as people feel it is, I think I was really insecure and I was really nervous about the reception. And I think on some songs you could hear it in my voice. I know I was saying off air, I think that was it. No, that was at the photo shoot. I'm tweaking. But I hate Hurt. Like, the song Hurt with Mia, Sarah, and Sanai, I hate that fucking song. Okay. Yeah. And like, you can hear it, like, to me it's like you can hear in my voice I'm not positive on what I'm saying. Like, it's like I'm saying it, but I ain't all the way sure that I feel it. What separates it from this next joint is like ain't nothing nobody. Like there's no rapper in Chicago or no rapper in the world that I could be in a room in, how we're in this room, and I feel insecure about my ability to rap with them niggas. Not even Jay-Z. Obviously he gonna watch me some
Nah, that nigga ain't
you
gonna
got
watch
the
it.
confidence
yeah,
to,
but it's
I
like,
can get on this track.
Yeah,
with
you know what I'm saying? Like it's like, nah, let's do it. Like put me on What's Free, put me on Marcy Me, put me on Smile, put me on God Did. Make me that last verse on God Did. Nigga, I'm tearing his ass up. Pause. Like bro, it's going like I'm my confidence level is just, bro, once you got when God give you the gift, all you gotta do is just utilize that motherfucker. Just like y'all. Can't nobody out radio y'all. Y'all just gotta find a way to have something worth listening to in terms of stories, what the niche is, what the gimmick is, but can't nobody out talk you. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck a nigga look? Man, I talk better than Biko. That shit sounds stupid. Like, nah, you just gotta find those little small things, you know what I'm saying, to like push the envelope. But yeah, bro. I don't even know what the question was.
I know what.
Hey, yo, look, that's an intro. That's an intro. I don't even know what the fuck the question was, man. Fuck these niggas.
Come on, man.
sure.
But as we wrap things up, man, it was fun while it lasted. It is out. As you see, you in our rotation. You've been getting heavy love. You know,
Yes, sir.
I got a feeling you probably. I would hope you felt you was gonna get the reception you're feeling.
I did, yeah. I kind of had an idea.
It's been going crazy.
Man, praise be to God for sure.
And you got a track on there that I don't think many people do, which is Still Running, featuring Sandy. You're not even on the track.
I'm not, yeah.
It's just Sandy rapping.
And he made the beat.
Honoring you.
Yeah.
Like, what
That's
the?
dope.
That nigga, man, it's crazy because that sounds like some egotistical shit, but I didn't ask him to do that. I told the story in some other interview, but I sent him. So the original, I could send it to you low key. The original Running, like my version of Running, was over a Gap Band loop. It was I forget the song, but it was a chopped up Gap Band loop that Ro Marsalis did. And maybe like a few weeks before we were submitting the album, I was like, nigga, this is a lawsuit waiting to happen. Like, you know what I'm saying? No sample clearances, no nothing. I'm like, yeah, let me just find somebody to reproduce this. So I sent it to Sandy Benjamin, and this rapper architect ass nigga sends back the beat, but with his verse, like with the verse, like he just forced himself to be on the song type shit.
Like he forces on the album.
Yeah. So I was like, you know what? I'm not putting it on my version, but actually, like, because of the story that he told, I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna just make it a song of its own. So it's called Still Running.
Yeah, I was listening to that thing freestyling my damn self. I say, this cold. This bro, that's like putting out a video and you not in it.
I know, yeah.
So
we doing that next for sure. I got inspired by the Drake Pop Star video where he had Justin
just
Bieber as
walking
the
through
hell
it, rapping a song.
Yeah, so we gonna do that somehow, some way, D-Ro. Yes, sir. We coming.
I mean, let people know, you know, how they can stay in touch with you, get in tune with you. Any upcoming shows, my brother? I don't even know if you had a headliner for the project.
So I had one headliner for the project at Shuba's, maybe like a month after it dropped. But we at Shuba's again at the end of May with Kalia X and Sanite. Okay. I want to say May 26th.
Okay.
Maybe. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. I got to check my calendar.
Soon.
Yeah. Then I can't announce one of the shows for whatever. I had to like sign like an NDA or some shit. I don't know why, but I know it's in July and it's also at Shuba's. Why it's so secretive, I don't know. We'll talk off here. But yeah, it's in July. Then I got some shit in June as well. I'm sorry, y'all. Follow me on Instagram at Kayo Southside, Kayo Southside, and all of these things will begin to develop as they come. I'm awful with my schedule for sure.
And lastly, you said "Hurt" was to you your worst
my
song.
least favorite.
You don't like that song.
Yeah, I love Sanite and Asar on there. Like if I could have cut my verse out and just left them niggas on there, I would have did it.
So what's your favorite?
My favorite, it's either Wait on Me or Still.
Okay.
Probably Wait on Me, but Still is up there high.
We got Still loaded up too with you,
Facts.
Film Dot and Paris
Yeah.
Price. Y'all landed in an article recently too.
We did, a Revolt joint.
Yeah,
That shit was hard, man. Paris just dropped the project. Shout out my guy Paris. Prezi Worldwide, Vanity EP out now. Southside Blue Hearts, man. We bringing y'all the greatest artists that y'all know. I promise y'all. I know it sounds like some bullshit now, But in 15 years, you're gonna say, damn, these niggas brought everybody. Southside Blue
sure.
Hearts, Prezi Worldwide, we got Paris Price, we got Elijah LaFleur, we got Kayo, the greatest rapper you ever heard, we got Flood, we got Bel Air. And that's it. Yeah.
You know
Let's
more
get
is
it.
coming.
Yeah,
That's what it is.
more is coming for sure.
Hey, appreciate you coming through, my brother. It's been a pleasure having
sir.
you.
sure.
Shit, your ill style over Marcy Me still one of my favorites this year, man. You
love,
came
love.
in, you did that. Yeah, he did that thing.
Love, man.
And yeah, again, we appreciate you. Appreciate having you, my brother.
Man, love. I appreciate y'all having me.
No doubt.
For sure.